White plays e4, black plays pawn to e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. What is this opening called as? Anyone knows?
Italian.
Yes, very good. Italian. This is Italian opening. Okay. Bishop c5 from black. Everything very natural. Nothing out of the books. c3, a very interesting idea. The plan is to play d4 at some point. And here, black plays queen to e7, castles, d6, d4, bishop goes back, a4, a6, a5, bishop goes back, h3, and just keep an eye on this move, okay? I'll come to that later on. Knight to f6, pawn takes pawn. What do you think? What has white made a mistake?
I think this mistake was h3.
Not a blunder, because it stops the bishop from pinning the knight and the queen.
Okay. Now, everybody write down the idea. You should not play h3 if black king has not cast, because right now you don't know as white where the king is going to be. Is it going to be on the long side or on the short side? If you're not aware of the situation, and suppose you play a move like h3, this particular pawn can be a target pawn. White just takes, queen takes, and now what I have written here, that early h3 becomes a weakness. Now this is a weakness which black can try to attack and open up the king. Knight d2, and this is where the game is over in just next couple of moves. How will you attack on the flank?
Right now the bishop attacks.
Bishop takes, pawn takes. Then how will the queen infiltrate?
Sir, queen g3.
We can just go bishop h3, gh3, queen to g3 check. Pawn cannot take, obviously, because bishop is spinning the pawn. King h1 and queen h3, king g1, and now how do you bring more piece to attack on the king? Knight to g4.
g4.
And now all these things, by the way, happened in the game, so we are also continuing with the game.
Threat is queen to h2 is
Check.
a threat.
Yeah, so that's why he played knight f3. And now what do you do?
Queen g3 again. Queen
g3 again, very good. King to h1. Bring more piece. Just bring more piece, automatically the game will be finished. Bishop f2. And after bishop f2, there's no way to deal with this. There's no way to deal with this. What is the threat? The threat is very simple. Queen h3. Okay, I hope the class is clear with this idea. e4, e5, and f3. Again, in the guesswork, right? What do you think was played in the last game?
c6.
What c6?
Knight c6.
Knight c6. Yeah, everyone wrote knight c6 only?
Yes, sir.
And c6, correct. Okay. bc4. Again, 5 seconds. Only 5 seconds will be given, not more than that.
Black should play bishop to c5. Bishop c5.
Everyone bc5, yeah? bc5, okay. c3 was played by white. Let's see if you guys can write the guess move.
Sir, queen e7.
Very good. Who said that?
Sir, Srinish.
Very nice. You remember the move. Very nice. Good job. Queen e7, but it was not played here. But you are correct. Absolutely correct. The move order changed, but queen e7 was played. And I was looking for queen e7 move. Very good answer. In the game, here, the move that was played was bishop to b6. Later on, he will play queen e7. So, same thing happened. So, don't worry. White plays d4 and now black plays queen e7. I will ask Shrishti. Shrishti, what do you remember from the previous game? What did white play after?
I think white had played the h3, which was a mistake.
No, not here. He has not even castled right now. The mistake is after he has castled and played h3, if you have not castled, then h3 is a mistake.
Oh.
Guys, if h3 is played without castling, it's not a mistake. If white castles, black doesn't castle, and white plays h3, then it is a mistake. Are you clear? White castles.
Where is my friend?
Write it down. O-O.
D6.
Okay. But that was not played in the game. It's not exactly the copycat of the previous game. That's why I'm showing you this, because idea was same, but implementation was different from the previous game. NF6. You develop towards center, right? And you prepare for castling also. Because right now, guys, h3 has not even been played, right?
Yes,
Has not even been played. So you cannot anticipate black that white will play h3. So no, you have to also focus on development, right? You have to focus on your own castling. The moment you see h3 is played, then you have to stop. And f6, white plays d5. And this is where the game shifts. And this is where you have to think in your guesswork, where will you put the knight?
The knight is 5.
Knight to d8.
You have to develop in such a way you control center. What is the point of knight a5? You're trying to get the bishop, right? Suppose I go bishop back. And now you don't have a single square for your knight. My plan is to go just b4 and trap it. Knights in the rim are always dim. You wanted to just attack my bishop. I saved my bishop, fine. But now you have to deal with the real problem. Now suppose, let's go knight d8. If you go d8, what is the prospect of the knight? It means, where will you try to bring the knight out? Because every single square is controlled. Because you can bring the knight d8, fine, that's completely fine. No worries on that. But it has no prospect. It has no future piece placement. Knight to b8 is a good piece placement. Can anyone explain me why? You want to play d6 and you can develop the knight by d7. White has not even played h3. So we are not trying to think of flank attack. We are just doing normal development. I hope the class is getting what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
We're not even thinking of flank attack because white has not even played h3. Bishop goes back anyways. Now, what do you think we should do here?
D6, sir. Knight G4.
Knight G4, why?
Sir, because we can take out the queen and start the checkmating patch.
But has he even played h3? See, I have not even played, like white has not even played h3. So you cannot attack white until unless the entire army is out.
D6. Pawn D6.
Pawn d6 is good, yes. That was played actually. Pawn d6. White plays the important mistake.
Finally, H3.
h3 is played and black has not even castled. If you castle right away, now h3 is not a mistake. Now it is a very good move because now you cannot push these pawns. You cannot even sacrifice because if you start pushing the pawns, your king is getting weaker and weaker. But in this case, your king is in the center and center is already closed. The center file is already closed. It's blocked by both the pawns of both colors. See? You have to now figure out a way to remove the G pawn away. Once you remove the G pawn away, the king gets blown away. To remove the G pawn away, basically what you have to do, you have to attack on h3. But right now, even if you just sacrifice, just like, bishop just take h3, dh3, your queen is unable to participate in the game. Why was the queen able to participate last time? Because queen was able to enter g3 with check, right? And this is something that when you have to start making a plan. So what is this particular stage is called? When you have to make a plan?
Turning points.
Turning
Point.
Very
Turning
good.
points.
Very good. This is where you need a plan. If you make random moves, you will lose the advantage. Right now, this position is a temporary advantage for black. If black makes the mistake, if black is not able to take advantage of this particular position, that temporary advantage will fade away. Okay, suppose if black just castles, black is ignoring everything and now he castled, the advantage has gone.
Sir, I've got a plan.
Yes, Pugul, please.
Sir, I think we should push the pawn to h6.
Very good. Why?
Because I want to push the pawn further and further to remove the h3 pawn. h6, then the g5,
And then?
and then g4.
Very good. Let's see the game now. h6, queen e2, g5, and white plays knight h2. Why is white playing knight h2, by the way? Why is white playing knight h2?
Cancel the g4 square.
Okay, don't be scared of sacrificing pawn. It's a very important pawn sacrifice. You just go g4 anyways. Let him take. And now, how can you put pressure on g4? Come on, anyone?
Sir, rook
Rook
g8.
to g.
Rook
Rook
g8.
g8. Sacrifice another pawn.
Whatever he does, sacrifice another pawn and now you just capture knight g4. He goes back. And now, how do you bring? It's kind of a ladder checkmate happening now. How do you bring the queen in the game? The move that was played was knight h2, king h, queen h4.
Now queen h4.
And now, one move, game over. One move, white resigns.
Sir, queen h3.
Very nice. Queen h3.
The white moves f3 pawn.
Like this?
Yes.
This is interesting. I'll check you first. I distracted your queen, right? You cannot take because checkmate. And if you
Sir,
block,
yes, I will just sacrifice.
checkmate anyways. Rook
Oh,
is
yeah.